welcome to Podio Academy. We're going to explore how Podio notifications really work and how you can shape them around your preferences and your team's unique workflows. Notifications are going to be telling you exactly what's happening around tasks, comments, project updates. But if you're ever feeling bombarded by alerts or thinking you might miss something important, this course might be for you. And hopefully by the end, you'll have a better understanding of how to configure your settings and to filter out the noise while making sure you don't miss what matters. So let's jump into the training topics today. We will be covering managing notifications, so understand what content you're automatically following and how to manually follow or unfollow and how to clean up. We'll look at email notifications. So what you're getting in your email, learn how to control which updates are going to reach your inbox and how to avoid that email overload. We'll look at notifications versus the activity stream. So we'll break down the differences and when to rely on each. And it's already sprinkled in unsubscribing from notifications, managing. We'll show you how to stop following items, apps, and so on. And we'll look into some of the common missteps along the way as well, things that I've seen in more of like a day-to-day working with Podio. So let's jump over. I am in the Podio app. So let's start with some of the basics. What's going to trigger a notification in Podio? We have this little bell icon up here, and it's pointing me now in this case as I have one notification to which I can mark as read or click on, which is now directing me into a workspace, into an app, into an item. So whenever you create something in Podio, like a project, a task, a sales lead, a deliverable, whatever it is that you guys are making, you are automatically following it. So this was an item that this user account had created. So by doing so, I am then automatically following that item. So I'll get a notification anytime someone else updates it, comments, or changes fields inside. You can also take note that if I am not this user, so let's say that I am on a different Podio account. Let's say that I want to share this with another one of my colleagues, or I want to add another participant to it. So let me just throw another user in. Let's just say in this case, I've added another user to it. I'll bring over this screen. I'm now in a completely different Podio account. We're both looking at the item here. And now both of us are following that item. So by adding it, there's now two users. Good things to take into consideration if you're wondering why you're getting notifications. It's probably something that you've either interacted with or something that you've created yourself. So Podio is going to assume that you are invested in that item and it wants to keep you in the loop. That's effectively what's happening. But what if you're only jumping in to leave a quick comment, or maybe you just need to wrap up some work? Again, it's going to keep in mind that you will be following, but you do always have the option to unfollow, knowing that if I come back in here and engage with it, that it will refollow me to the item. So all good things to take into consideration. Uh, Maybe you want to just track new deals, however you guys want to go about doing that. Again, just keep in mind how chatty the app is, with all love to try to get you to be informed of what's happening. Now, the next part are the email notifications. So by default, Podio will send emails for almost everything as well. So not just here in the app with the bell icon, but things like task assignments, comments, status updates, app activity. And not everyone really works the same way. Some people live out of their inbox, while others prefer to live inside Podio or to just check in manually. So you always have that key, which is customization. Every application should provide that to you. So if I click on the silhouette icon here to get into my account settings, I do have this option here for email and notifications. So it's pretty straightforward what we are looking at here by the tabs. The daily digest, again, depending on how dependent you are on your inbox, dependent on how interactive you are with Podio, there is a daily email that's sent to you. This is my demo account. I have this turned off. as I'm not using it as frequently. But if I had projects and things I was following up on, I would definitely want to have that turned on. There's also, the typical in-app screen notifications that pop within the web app if you want to have sounds. It is exciting to have that clicking sound in Podio when, like a workflow is kicking off or something's happening. So again, depending on what you want. In this case, I believe when you turn on your account, everything is checked. So you want to make sure that you're walking through and understanding what you actually want to be notified on. Again, keeping in mind this is sending you an email now. And if you don't want that, it's pretty easy to just uncheck and save. And if you want to leave everything turned on and then just start ignoring it altogether, again, you can get pretty overwhelmed. This is a huge pitfall that I see with people that are using the product is they feel overwhelmed just initially by all the notifications. So definitely good to come in. Again, weigh out your flow, weigh out the importance of what you need to be notified on. Keep in mind that we have the in-app notifications versus emails. So where are you going to be working from and so on. Now let's move on to the next topic. This one will be a little more subtle, but very important. So the notifications that are pointing you to items versus activity streams. So notifications are tied specifically to items or tasks, but how about workspaces that I'm a part of? So I can jump into a workspace here. I don't really see a way to follow the entire workspace, although I can follow items or apps within that workspace. So just like I can follow items, I can click on an app. If I created it, I can also choose to follow an app just to get more updates of the content that's working in there. But we have an activity stream at the workspace level, or even when you log in just to your main homepage, which is a combination of everything that you are a part of, your organizations, your workspaces, so on. Either way, notifications are tied to things that you are directly involved in versus the activity streams, on the other hand, which are more of like a public news feed. It's going to show everything that's happening in that space, regardless of whether you're involved or not. So think of it more like a community bulletin board. Something to keep in mind, though, with notifications are within workspace settings, you can choose what will show on the activity feed on the stream if you don't want to post those messages. And as well at the app level, if you are creating or editing apps, I do also have the ability within app settings advanced to disable notifications. So in this case, I'm not posting to the activity feed or notifications when items are edited on the stream or notifications here. So you can also take control at the app level if you want to have more quiet type apps. But again, the main point was activity stream is going to be different. That's more of a community bulletin versus the notifications, but you have a lot of control, a lot of different places where alerts can be coming from. So take that into consideration. And if your notifications do feel noisy, you probably need to do some unfollowing. So figure out where the notifications are coming from. If it is tied to a specific app or item that you know you're not going to be interacting with, that you can go and unfollow items. It's pretty easy to go and toggle. And this will definitely be one of the biggest mistakes. So take a look at the hygiene that you have within your Podio account, figure out what's relevant, and just know and have peace of mind of how the notifications and activity even works to get it to be most beneficial for you. They're very flexible, very personal, very powerful when configured properly. And now you know how they work. You know what triggers them. You know how to follow. You know how to unfollow. You know how to stay informed without feeling overloaded and how to clean up. A lot of great options to get it to work for you. So whether you're working on a quick project or you're reviewing updates, things that you need to follow up on later in the day, managing a large team, different ways to get this to work for you. And there's different ways that this tool can be here to help you stay focused. Thanks for joining me. I hope to see you in the next Podio 101 course and the rest of Podio Academy. Thank you.